Okay, so you asked me about our setup. I'm basically using this ladder to simulate a few anchor points. And our basic setup is two stations connected to one with two ropes. I think we talked about that. We have basically two load-bearing ropes. We still call one main and one secondary, but they have the same function and they're set up pretty much the same. So I just simulated different ways of anchoring. I have these slings, carabiners. We always try and do a dynamic load distribution, but that really depends on context. So I have one of them connected this way, and I have the other one connected this way, going down, again, to a dynamic load distribution. So they're equalized. And that's going to be my basic setup. Each one of these anchors is going to get one rope attached to it, and I'll get into that right now. So if I follow down, I have two carabiners on this rope. Actually, let's start with this one. So coming down from here, I have two carabiners. In a second, you'll see why I have this spare carabiner, but I have an oval carabiner with the ATC attached to it and a 10-meter rope spread out here with a knot at the end so it doesn't slip through if we end up using it. And that is our rear device. And this rope is basically attached to a double figure eight. On the short end of the double figure eight, I have another oval carabiner with an ATC, and my main line locked off with a figure eight at the end. And this main line is coming out of one end of my backpack. So that gives me 40 meters out of the 80 meters of rope that I have in the backpack. The other station is going to have basically the same setup, only now you can see what the extra carabiner is for. So going back, I have my 10-meter rope, my rear station, connected to an oval carabiner in the ATC. Coming down, I have another oval carabiner sitting with an ATC on the short of the two loops of the double figure eight. This one isn't tied off, it's open so you can see how it functions, and the edge of the rope. And going back to that, from the working end of the ATC, or the operator end of the ATC, the rope goes up and back to this carabiner, this extra carabiner. And the reason for that is that it gives the operator added friction, but much more importantly than that, it gives the operator the flexibility to move anywhere he wants with the rope in his hand. So if for some reason this operator needed to move forward in front of the ATC, he's still maintaining that braking angle on the ATC. If he didn't have that back carabiner and he would have walked forward, you would lose all friction. So that gives us a lot of flexibility in the operational function of the operator of this. And again, this goes back to the other end of the backpack, using up half of the full length of the rope. So with this setup, we can do a rescue of up to 40 meters in theory.